Well, good evening, everyone. It is Monday, March the 25th. The time is 6 p.m. Call to order the special meeting of Town Council. I'd like to welcome those who are watching us online. You'll be able to find the information online on our website, as all of the budget information that we're talking about tonight. As well, welcome to councillors, with regrets from Deputy Mayor Spencer, who was away, and Councillor Mann and McRae are away as well. So we do have our CAO, Mr. Baker, here, but we also have regrets from Municipal Clerk Kim Caisley and Manager of Finance Nancy McRae. All right, Council, the agenda. No, before we start, I want to acknowledge that the land upon which we gather is the unceded Mi'kmaq territory and is covered by the historic treaties of peace and friendship. We pay our respects to the Indigenous Mi'kmaq people who have occupied this island for over 12,000 years, past, present, and future. And I better not forget our guest who is here tonight. We have a guest here visiting us for our council meeting, and it is Melissa Caisley. Welcome, Melissa Caisley.
Thank you.
My wife. I'm in trouble tonight. All right, Council, the agenda is before you. Are there any changes to the agenda? I don't believe there are, so if not, I would call for an adoption of the agenda as presented. So moved by Councillor Gallant, seconded by Councillor Doucette. All those in favour? Motion carried unanimously. Any conflict of interest to declare, Council, tonight? Hearing none, we'll move right along to new business. And the first new business is a request for decision number 25, which is the Town of Kensington's financial plan. That financial plan is before you. Are there any questions or clarification needed on the financial plan, Council? Councillor Gallant.
Thank you, Worship. I assume there's been no changes since our last meeting on the budget?
There are a few changes. The net result of all the changes is $4, I believe, improved, is it not? $4 improved, and it's just a matter of moving some revenue streams, a little more on one, a little less on something else. But basically it's the same budget. And before we approve it, I think what I'd like to do is read into the record some of the comments that Mr. Baker has made, so it forms part of our budget process. So the attached final draft budget projects a consolidated deficit position for the fiscal year ended 24-25 of $82,848, which includes a deficit of $86,772 in the water and sewer utility, a surplus of... Yes.
I can hear your meeting in the medical center.
Okay.
So. Dr. Selye's. Not that I don't want.
Is there anybody in there?
No, just me.
Okay. It's,
okay?
Yeah, it's public anyway, but we'll.
Okay.
There must be something to do with the Bluetooth. Continuing on, which is a surplus of $12,647 in the town operations, a surplus in the fire department of $36,332, and a deficit in the credit union center operations of $45,055. Every effort is being made by staff and council to hold property taxes at their current level and to offset increases in expenditures by gaining efficiencies and through growth in property assessment revenue. All municipalities across the island are facing the same challenges as the town of Kensington, constantly being asked to do more with less. No increases to property tax credits from the province from the past has made it increasingly difficult to deliver the services that our residents and business owners require and deserve. To deliver current services while planning to meet the long-term needs of our community, it is imperative that we work with the province to negotiate a long-term funding agreement that allows the town to operate in a more sustainable fashion. With increased demands and high inflation, the town requires additional revenue to cover the cost of delivering services to our residents and business owners. We must continue to lobby the province of Prince Edward Island to reduce its property tax rates inside municipalities to enable us to increase our tax rates without adding additional burden to our residents and business owners. Property taxation rates for 2024-25 are proposed to remain unchanged at 55 cents per $100 assessment, and for non-commercial properties at $1.30 per $100 of assessment. In 2024, water and sewer utility rates will see an increase effective January the 1st, 2024, based on the 5-year rate approved by the Island Regulatory Approved Commission. Fire dues from the town of Kensington and District 1910 to the Kensington Fire Department were increased by approximately 3%. Fire dues for the municipality of Malpeque were increased by approximately 20%. It is anticipated that future increases will be in accord with inflation, and the Credit Union Center ICE rental rates have been increased as approved by Town Council. I just want to go back and mention the increase in fire department increases for the town and for the municipality, district number 1910. They only went up by inflation this year, but they were increased significantly by about 20% last year. So the municipality of Malpeque, their increase took place this year, but the other two we were able to put them in place last year. So council, that information is there. Are there any other questions or clarification needed? Hearing none, who wants to read into the record the resolution? Councillor Glant, go right ahead.
Thank you. Whereas Section 150-1 of the Municipal Act, RSPEI 98 Cap M-12-1 requires a council to, on or before March 31st in each year, to adopt by resolution the financial plan for the upcoming fiscal year. Be it resolved that the Town Council approve the Town of Kensington 2024-25 financial plan with operational revenue estimates projected at $4,315,522 and an operational expenditure estimates projected at $4,398,370. Be it further resolved, the Town Council approved 2024-25 capital expenditure plan and the 2024 to 2029 five-year capital expenditure plan as presented.
Thank you, Councillor Glant. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Toombs. Any discussion, council? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, council. Moving right along to request for decision number 20. They're all saying 25. Am I looking at the wrong one? Oh, pardon me. That last one is request for decision number 11. This one we're looking at request for decision number 12. This is the setting of the property tax rates, and as mentioned in the correspondence of our budget, tax rates will remain the same. So we merely have to read into the record the resolution. Who would like to read into the record the resolution? Go ahead, Councillor Toombs.
Whereas recommend Town Council, whereas Section 160 1 of the Municipal Government Act, RSPEI 1988, Cap M-12.1, and Section 5.2 of the Town of Kensington's Tax Rate Groups bylaw requires the town to establish tax rates by resolution. Be it resolved that the 2024-25 municipal property tax rates for the Town of Kensington of 55 per 100 of assessment, 55 cents per 100 of assessment, non-commercial property, and 130 per 100 of assessment for commercial property be hereby adopted and approved.
Do we have a seconder for that resolution? Seconded by Councillor Glant. Any discussion, council? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. We'll move right along to request for decision number 13, which is the borrowing operating lines of credit for both the Town of Kensington and water and sewer utilities. That information is before you. Are there any questions, council? That's no change from the previous years, $150,000 for the town and $75,000 for the water and sewer utility. Hearing none, Councillor Doucette, you haven't read one into the resolution, into the record. How would you like to read this one in? Since there's only three of us here tonight, we'll pick on you all.
They took the smaller ones real quick.
Yeah, we saved that for the younger one.
Whereas Section 166-1 of the Municipal Government Act, RSPEI 1988, Cap M-12.1, authorizes the Town Council to borrow money on a short-term basis for the purpose of financing operating expenditures. And whereas Section 5.1 of the town's borrowing bylaw number 2018-02, authorizes Town Council pursuant to subjection 166-1 of the Act to borrow money for the purpose of financing operating expenditures. And whereas Town Council currently carries short-term borrowing in the amount of $150,000 for the general account and $75,000 for the water and sewer utility account. And whereas, excuse me, no change is being proposed in the amounts to be borrowed for the 2024/25 fiscal year. And whereas the amounts to be borrowed will not cause the town to exceed its legislated debt capacity, be it resolved that Kensington Town Council approve an operating line of credit of $150,000 from Scotiabank for the town's general account with the chief administrative officer or his designate and the mayor or his designate being authorized as legal signing officers. Be it further resolved that Kensington Town Council approve an operating line of credit of $75,000 from Scotiabank for the water and sewer utility account with the chief administrative officer or his designate and the mayor or his designate being authorized as legal signing officers.
Thank you, Councillor Doucette. Do we have a seconder for that resolution? Seconded by Councillor Glant. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. All right, that is everything that we have to bring before this special meeting of Town Council tonight. For those who are watching on, Councillor Glant.
Thank you, Worship. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank our CAO, Jeff, and all staff and yourself. I know from being there, it takes a fair amount of time to look at the budget and bring it to us, we all have an opportunity to go over it, and maybe sometimes we don't always agree on everything, but at the end of the day, it's pretty. It looks pretty good, and I think we're very fortunate to be able to be where we're at right now. So, just want to thank everybody, including my fellow councillors, for all the efforts.
Thank you, Councillor Glant. Any other comments, Council, before we... All right, well, thank you, everyone, and we do know that the town staff put a lot of time and effort into preparing a budget, bringing it forward, so we look forward to trying to meet the budget for the next year. Do you have anything to say, Mr. Baker? All right, if there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved by Councillor Toombs, seconded by Councillor Doucette. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you for those watching at home.